for joining us today. Your curiosity is wonderful. And just like all of you, it was my own curiosity about nature that led me to working right here at SeaWorld. We receive so many questions each and every day about killer whales. So we gathered all those questions right here in the Killer Whales Up Close book to share with you today. And we connected the book so that you'll be able to see everything up on our big screens. Now, if you're ready to get started, it's my privilege to introduce you to Vicki.
Hi everyone, are y'all ready to meet some killer whales? Great, glad to hear it. Well, coming out first, we have two adult females. They're going to be making their way, jumping around the pool. We have the original baby Shamu. Her name is Orchid, joined by a newer member of our pod, Shuka. Right over here, everybody. He's a young male at 6,000 pounds. Put your hands together for Nikai. And last but certainly not least, the largest killer whale living here at SeaWorld San Diego. He'll be speeding along the glass, maybe if the gate opens back up. His name is Ulysses. Ladies and gentlemen, SeaWorld San Diego is home to 11 killer whales, and they range in age from just 6 months old all the way up to 51 years old. All right, it looks like Ulysses is on his way out here. He'll be joining us in just a minute. Again, our pod of killer whales is made up of 5 males and 6 females.
So you can see how different each whale is, but did you know that there are even bigger differences in the wild? And would you be surprised if I told you there are actually different kinds of killer whales? Yeah, scientists refer to them as ecotypes. They live in different habitats, they have different body types, and they even pursue different types of food. And although killer whale ecotypes are different, they're all still considered members of one single species, Orcas orca. Now, one of the questions that we get asked all the time is, how big does a killer whale grow to be? Well, that would depend on which ecotype you're talking about. Is it a 16-foot female from Iceland, or maybe a 30-foot male from Antarctica? Let's take a closer look.
The remarkable thing about killer whales, no matter which type, is that they are found throughout our global ocean, from the Arctic to the Antarctic, and literally everywhere in between. They are found in so many different habitats and depend on such a variety of marine life for survival that killer whales are more intertwined with the fate of our ocean than any other marine animal. Truly, these awesome animals are the living symbol of our ocean, representing so much more than their own species.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Ulysses! Wow. All right, time to check out some of your great questions. Oh, here we go. So many people wonder what it's like to be a trainer. In fact, raise your hands out there if any of you have ever wanted to be an animal trainer. Oh, wow, it's a lot of hands. Well, then I think you should meet our dedicated trainers to interact with our family of whales every day. So if you look up on stage, you'll see Missy, Summer, Vicki, Christy, and Bronwyn. Our trainers are so passionate about what they do here every single day. And you know, that makes me think of another one of your really great questions. Do the trainers talk to the whales? Well, Vicki, I'll let you answer that one.
That is a great question. We may not talk to our killer whales the way you and I talk to each other, but we have taught them different hand signals to help us communicate with them. Our ongoing communication is an important part of building the strong relationships that we have with these whales. Because of this connection, one of the things that we're able to do is answer important questions through research.
Here at SeaWorld, we have a unique opportunity to conduct research about killer whales, asking important questions that can only be answered in a setting like this. So much of what we learn here is being used to help killer whales in the wild. Of course, there are other questions that can only be explored by studying whales in the ocean. By exploring questions both at SeaWorld and in the wild, our combined research gives all of us a better understanding of killer whales and the places they live.
And that's what I call working together. Research flowing in both directions, from our park to the wild and back again. That way, everyone benefits. All right, time to do another question. This individual wonders why whales jump. Well, I just happened to that emoji. Look. You know, killer whales communicate in a lot of different ways. Sometimes they vocalize, and sometimes they use their bodies. A jump like that, it's called a breach, and they're making a sound on top of the water. When a whale uses their bodies to slap the water, it creates a commotion above and below the surface. And this could be to show their excitement, or maybe to display a little power, or just get the attention of the other whales. Yeah, some of you may have heard about Kalia's new calf, Amaya. Our SeaWorld social media fans actually helped us name her. And here at SeaWorld, we're able to watch newborn calves rely on their mothers for everything, from the very first moment of birth.
As a calf grows and gains some independence, it is looked after by other whales in the pod too. They help the mother protect the calf, teach it survival skills, and show the calf how to romp and play. Killer whales live in family-like groups known as pods. Like human families, their pods can range in size, from just a handful of whales up to a few dozen.
Okay, well here's another really important question. Does having a killer whale breeding program here at SeaWorld help whales in the wild? Absolutely. Our successful breeding program helps us understand the developmental needs of pregnant mothers, newborn calves, and young killer whales. And that's critical information because it's the time when killer whales are most vulnerable in the wild. And gaining this kind of knowledge is only possible through the research that we're able to do right here at SeaWorld.
Recently, SeaWorld worked with researchers from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, to help them develop a model for identifying when a killer whale is pregnant by looking at aerial images of the animal in the wild. Prior to this cooperative effort, where SeaWorld provided direct, unparalleled access to our pregnant whales, researchers had no solid way of knowing whether or not a female in the wild was carrying a calf.
Oh wow, now that's a lot of questions, but believe it or not, we get them every day.
We sure do. You know, killer whales use all sorts of sounds to communicate with each other. Let's listen. Each pod has their own unique set of calls, their own dialect. But don't forget, they use body language too.
Yeah, sometimes they blow bubbles or bump into each other or even scratch each other with their teeth, causing something called rake marks. Those are the multi-line marks that you may see on the skin of killer whales and dolphins. And it's just one of the ways that they display dominance over each other during social interaction, both in the wild and here at SeaWorld. And we just learned how killer whales communicate with each other. They use body language and they even vocalize. But do you all remember how we communicate with them? With signals, that's right. And here at SeaWorld, we really communicate with our whales, and we want future generations to be able to do the same.
That's right, Jenna. Now today we are joined by two very lucky volunteers. Over here with Missy and Orchid, we have Ivan. And over here with Chrissy and Shuka, we have Mikey. All right, so we're gonna have Ivan and Mikey, starting out with Mikey over here, give some signals to the whales. Here's a fun one. And if you focus your attention over here to Ivan, it's her turn to give a signal to Orchid. Nice little hula, and Orchid's going to dance along with her. All right, back over to you, Mikey. A nice big wave goodbye. Let's see if Shuka gets it. There she is. And last but certainly not least, back to Ivan. Now to commemorate your meeting of our whales today for Mikey and Ivan, we present you with these tail flukes. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for our great volunteers?
Looks like maybe we have some future animal trainers on our hands, huh? You guys think they did a good job? Awesome. Oh, great question. No. Who takes care of you, Shamu? Well, I love that question because it lets us give all of you a peek at how much we really care about these extraordinary animals. So, Vicki, are our trainers ready?
We sure are. Now if you look right up here, you're going to see Christy asking Shuka to roll over and present her tail flukes. This is a husbandry behavior. This is a type of behavior that we train the whales that allow us to take care of them. So when the whales learn to offer their tail like this, we can draw a blood sample to check their health. The slide out behavior that Orchid's doing right here allows us to weigh the whales. We weigh the whales on a weekly basis. We do this to track their health, make sure they're staying at the proper weight, and also to make sure that the calves are growing properly. Now the high energy behaviors that you see our whales doing are behaviors that they do both out in the wild and here at SeaWorld. Nakai's going to be showing off one of these. Now if you look right out in the center of the pool, here comes Nakai. Now these types of behaviors help us to ensure that the whales are getting the exercise that they need every day.
And I know that our guests probably also always wonder, how much does a killer whale need to eat every day to stay healthy?
Well, just like you and me, every whale has different dietary needs. For example, Amaya, she's just 6 months old and she's still nursing from her mom. She's not eating any fish yet. And our larger whales like Ulysses and Corky can eat up to 200 pounds a day. Now right now we have Orchid and Shuka out here. Shuka eats about 105 pounds of fish a day and Orchid eats about 130 pounds a day. So again, it's different for every whale. Now it's important to note that regardless of what the whales do, they get all of their food every day.
And because we've been able to determine how much killer whales eat throughout different stages of their life, researchers in the field are able to determine if ocean habitats are healthy enough for killer whale populations to thrive. And that type of information is invaluable.
You know, our whales need a lot more than food, exercise, and checkups from our veterinarians to stay healthy. We want to make sure that their mental health is good too. We want to challenge and stimulate their minds through learning, interaction, and play. So if you look up at our screens right now, you'll see some video of our whales playing with different toys and enrichment. We have a lot of different things that we can give the whales for them to play with. You can see some kelp up there, some toys that they love, dragging around these toys and chewing on them and carrying them on their pectoral flippers and their dorsal fins. We also have a lot of different types of sessions that we do with the whales throughout the day. One of the more fun sessions that we can do are play and relate sessions. So if you look over here with Missy and Orchid, you're going to see them hanging out, just having fun, playing, relating. Christy's not asking Orca to do anything right now except hang out and play with her. She's giving her eyes. She's playing down there at the glass. All of our whales really seem to enjoy these large chunks of ice. They like to chew on them, crunch them up. It's a fun toy. Then over here with Christy, not sure what she has, we'll see. Oh, Jell-O! And a bucket! So again, everybody, we offer the whales all different kinds of rewards and reinforcements and toys and games and play sessions throughout the day. Now with all of the toys and games that we offer, the best enrichment still seems to be social interaction with each other and with our team of experienced trainers.
Okay, here's a question for all the kids out there. I know that you want to know, who would win if a killer whale squared off with a great white shark? So raise your hands if any of you think the great white shark would win. Okay, I see a couple hands. All right, now raise your hand if you think the killer whales would win. Yeah, that's right, killer whales. You see, a great white shark hunts alone, but a killer whale hunts with a pod. So it's not even a competition. You know, killer whales have even been known to hunt a blue whale. You guys know how big a blue whale is? Well, at over 80 feet, it's the largest animal ever to have existed on our planet. But killer whales can hunt these huge animals because they coordinate, collaborate, and cooperate. They work together as a group to overcome challenges much bigger than themselves. And you know, I think that we can learn a lot from killer whales on how to overcome challenges that maybe our ocean faces. If we work together like the killer whales, maybe we can change the fate of the ocean, and even the world. All right, look, more questions. And here's some of those really common questions that always come in. So here we go. First question. Why do some dorsal fins curve? Well, that's a great question. Dorsal fins lack any sort of skeletal support, such as bones or cartilage, to support their height and weight. They're completely made up of connective tissue. So if an animal spends more time at the surface, over time, the tissue inside that fin can weaken and the fin will bend. Occasionally we see these curved dorsal fins out in the wild, like you see in the photos here, and here at SeaWorld. All right, next question. Ooh, how fast can they swim? Killer whales have been known to reach speeds of almost 30 miles an hour. Check it out. Not quite 30 miles an hour, huh, guys? Let's try. Oh, okay, we're gonna see a fast swim over here to my right. Wow, there we go. All right, next question. How much water can their tails splash? We're going fast. Well, their tails, or flukes as they're called, are really strong and can fling a whole lot of water about halfway up these stands. So, last question. If all of the whales splashed out once, could they get the whole audience wet? Maybe not the whole audience. Wow, now that was refreshing. You know, killer whales are so inspiring. In fact, the more we learn about them, the more that we see they represent more than just themselves. Truly, to better understand the killer whale is to better understand our ocean. So never stop wondering about the natural worlds around you. Be sure to visit SeaWorldSanDiego.com for your free download of the Killer Whales Up Close book and share it with all your family and friends.
From all of us to all of you, thank you for caring, thank you for coming, and thank you for wondering. We hope you enjoyed Killer Whales Up